followed me across state lines. You really thought I'd run? Watch me. 30 years in Alabama, Jersey girl with perfect plans. Garden raising my daughter, healing cats with gentle hands. Astrology program, midnight, regulating 2 degrees. Masters and bachelors, both with honors, so the world would let me breathe. Anytime my name on a secret list, paid strangers make me bleed. So I packed up everything I loved and drove south to be free. But freedom wasn't far enough. Now I'm on time, setting flames, cars, get clean and targeted. Got every other day I cross the Kentucky line. Drawn to my sky, 7 tears and might be forget because on my knees and trying to steal my life. But this soul's rooted deep in me from an island. Children's rotten, fire trying to bury me. Baby, watch me rise, watch me glow. Watch me cry. Black helicopters buzzing, low surveyors I never hired. Fake lions on my title, threats in the mail, just walk away with tired. But every kid I bottle feed, every roll of corn I sow is another middle finger to the cowards hiding in the shadows. How I live on YouTube every night, they thought they won't show. This farm is my fortress, my proof, my microphone. You double down in Kentucky, thought the country would swallow me whole. Jokes on you, I'm louder than ever, and I'll never let it go. Welcome, con artist, Nick, Automat. Hi, Joe. Welcome, welcome. Joe is our moderator. He's going to be on the lookout for any perps. Welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you guys come in. I earned every inch of this dirt with blood and sweat and grace. You can fake the papers, you can pour it in the well, but you never erase my face. This is for every targeted woman they try to make disappear. You're agreeable to hurricane, listen close, you feel that in the air. How is everybody? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining in. You're going to be cooking? Sounds good. I know. Considering what we're all going through, we're as good as we can possibly be under the circumstances. Well, we're a lot better than the people that are targeting us. Hi, Just Me. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Hi, Julius. Welcome. I'm eating also because what I did, I should know better by now. I went to lie down on my bed to stretch a little bit and just be horizontal. And the criminals knocked me out. Before I knew it, it was 9 p.m. I had to go check on the cats. So I'm actually eating. Just made some coffee. I wanted to prepare some more things to read tonight. And, you know, they know what you're going to do in advance, so they deliberately sabotage it. And when we talk about they is an entire group of people. They is your handler, the stalkers, the 3-letter agencies, your local government, anybody else they decide to hire, or just people that want to join in for the fun of it. They like torturing people. Multitasker, yes, yes. Hi, Pamela, welcome. Hi, TG.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you're reading it. The Circle of Snakes. It's such an easy book to read, but I have to admit that I followed everything that he tells us to do in the book. Like when I lived in New Jersey, it didn't work for me. Oh, thank you so much, SDL. Welcome. There were ads already because usually there's a mid-roll advertisement, meaning like halfway through the live stream there'll be an advertisement. You don't plan anything anymore. Your dog handles those details. Yeah, I know. I don't really get to plan anything anymore anyway. Oh, I'm so glad. I was hoping that the advertisements would be better, and I actually think they are. And um, they give you the option, like when you're remonetizing, to change the advertising. And I don't know if I knew that the first time around, or maybe I did, and I didn't know exactly what to not allow. So they allow you to not allow certain advertising, like the games and stuff like that. I didn't like that. Thank you, STL. STL says, I don't mind. I know that it helps, so I watch them through. And Joe is just getting doing laundry. Surprisingly, no funny business at the laundromat on the drive there back. Oh, that's good. Well, I think that they have to recoup, and I think it's a money situation also. I think it's also part of their mind control and the satanic ritual abuse. They give you these breaks in between, and then they come back. It's like they build back better. I hate that term. They start to build back better. Oh, thank you, con artist. Thank you. The creepy guy. I don't know. I mean, he's usually here, but as long as he's not here now, that's okay. Usually it's around 20 minutes in, maybe half an hour. Actually, when he started like a year ago, it was halfway through, and then it became like at the very beginning as soon as I started. O'Connor has Firefox, Opera, Brave, and Tor browser. I can't install any of those because my current version of Windows doesn't support any of them. I do have Firefox on my phone though. I do need to get a new phone. So one of these days, I have to get one this year. Waking up from a rare nap, but they hit my right middle finger, so maybe because they've done that to me too before because you give them the finger. Before you saw a 40-minute info? Really? Well, I've been seeing different advertisements on other people's videos that almost look like they're videos instead of advertisements, and some of them are pretty good. I've actually watched them on some other people's channels because they were decent. I didn't even know they were advertisements. That's right. Hit the thumbs up. I see there are definitely more than 8 people in the chat now. Oh, you're welcome, SDL. Oh, Foxy's good. Foxy's so smart. Foxy does not like the raccoons. And I have a swarm of raccoons. Like they're on the porch right now. Foxy made it here tonight just before the raccoon swarm. And then the raccoons came out and I didn't see Foxy again. Oh, you did? The creepy voice is there. Hi Cat, welcome. Cat, I am breaker 3333. Yeah, in fact, I might actually go back in there if I can and click on more advertisements to not play. Creepy is using his nano voice. It's very low, but there. Pam says, I watched a documentary about people who believe that they're wolves. They howl and hunt animals. I could make a comment about that, but I won't. For anybody that has heard the video from last week of my neighbors pretending that they're wildlife, I noticed that Jesse Beltrain has been interviewing on a lot of podcasts recently. And the one that I watched recently, I think one of you guys sent it to me. He was being asked who gets placed on these lists. And he went down the types of people for, of course, it's the whistleblowers, people that speak out, the political people. Yes, gang stalkers do leave acorns, and you have no acorn. Yes, they do. It's bitchcraft. It's witchcraft. Yeah, they performed a ritual. Yeah, we had the lunar eclipse, so yeah, they were very, very busy during the eclipse. I'm still picking up their stuff everywhere. Yes, they do leave acorns. Oh, your phone number ends in 3333. The sound is injected into, I think, the Wi-Fi because it's not only in the live stream, but last year I interviewed with David A, and they disabled my camera, but the creepy voice was on his live stream, and I wasn't recording it here. He was recording it on his end with his Zoom, but the creepy voice made his way in there. And also, the creepy voice has gotten into like my cat's building. If I play back some of the video recordings from the cameras, I'll hear the creepy voice. Nick says, I don't mind being on any list. If those idiots they send, that I do mind. Yeah, that's true. I saw that SDL. It's interesting because the name sounded familiar. The guy that passed away. It sounds familiar, and I looked at him and I thought it might be familiar, but not anybody I've been in contact with, recently or the last couple of years. Sometimes these names pop up and I remember them, or I may have been in contact with them when I was on those conference calls. Yes, I do listen to Look Out for Charlie. He posted a video today, and I only got to listen to half of it, and I got interrupted. So I need to listen to it again. Yes, the creepy voice is likely a bot from a federal agency. Exactly, exactly. You can you can't find a channel under his name. Like look out for. Oh, it's look here. I'll type it in the chat. 1 second. It's not look out for Charlie, it's look out fa, F-A, fa Charlie. I don't know why he did that. It would make it more difficult for people to locate him. Oh, so much gaslighting. Kids can be very, very mean. I'm fortunate that I did not grow up being bullied. I do remember people that were bullied. I want to mention a website that I think you'd all be interested in. I'll type it in the chat. It is called targetedhumans.org. It's a really well designed informational website, and she also has an amazing newsletter. Her name is Skizit, and I've known her since 2017. Yeah, there are many, yes. Well, the unfortunate thing, it's sort of like it is in business. Um, with the targeting groups, some people will get along and some people won't. Some people like others and some people don't. Doesn't matter if you're targeted or not. It's just the nature of being a human in this lifetime is you may be attracted to hanging out with certain people or not attracted to hanging out with other people. And just because you're targeted doesn't mean you're going to like another targeted person. Yeah, yes. In fact, I'm not going to talk about that the name of that you just mentioned, but she is an expert on that. Yeah, please save that website, targetedhumans.org. And I've been in contact with her, and she's actually posted a couple of my photos of my injuries on her TI injury page. And she's in the process of revising the website. I think she had to move it to another, what do you call it, a server or whatever. But so you can scroll down on the TI injuries, and my legs are there, and my ear is there. I'm going to send her a couple of other photos. I sent her some photos of what they did to my cats. But I would consider her to be an expert in that M word. And she also started a section on obituaries. And the first one up there is Kim Straub. She was a nurse. Um, I did a TI testimony on her behalf on the channel. She was a friend of mine. And then underneath that, she posted my mother's passing. She did a remembrance for my mother. Let's say you keep shaving facial hair because patchy psoriasis like plaques grow under your beard. Yeah, that might be something other than psoriasis. Hi, Mrs. Matson. Hi, Mrs. Matson. Yes, you absolutely do, SDL, because I do. More recently, they have really infected me big time. I didn't know what it was. And the thing is, when they heat you up, it spreads through your body. Oh my goodness, Pamela, that's horrible. There's a YouTube creator that I listen to who's been reviewing a lot of the foods and other videos of people going into the supermarket and buying food and examining it home and stuff. And that's been a problem. Pamela says I bought some meat from Vaughn's and it had worms in it. I'm never eating beef again. Hi, City of Fullerton. Welcome. If you have a YouTube channel, hi Elsie, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. If you have a YouTube channel, this is the place to post the link in the chat. Yeah, I don't eat meat. I can't. I mean, the only meat that I would eat is if it were available, is if there was like a local farmer that was an organic farmer. It's hard enough finding decent organic food, period. Forget the meat. I do buy chicken legs for Foxy though. Okay, everybody. Joe left his the link to his YouTube channel there. Anybody else have a YouTube channel they'd like to share? You can post the URL in the chat. But I just wanted to say for everybody, KG uh, text me this week that she, in case anything happens to her, she wanted me to know that they have been hitting her very, very hard. That's why you may not have seen her. She's been in a lot of pain lately. I know, all the food, all the food. I know there are channels that I'll subscribe to, and then I don't receive notifications, even though I'll go and look, and it's like, okay, the notifications are on, but I'm not getting them. The favorite thing here is knocking me out and doing ungodly things to me because I'm obviously a test subject here in Jackson County, Kentucky. I don't know. Can you be an enemy of the state and a test subject and at the same time? Probably. Hi, Sue Craven. Welcome. Yeah, welcome, welcome. Yeah, in case you didn't see it before, um, There's a website, targetedhumans.org. Skizit Powers created this website. It's excellent, and she's updating it. It was called Citizens Against Harmful Technology at one time, and then she changed it to Targeted Humans. She has TI news, publications, newsletters, implants, gang stalking, cyber, torture, TI injuries, um, videos, some of her previous videos, shielding, legal, TI studies, books, research, obituaries. She has a separate heading for Infraguard, our favorite Infraguard, cops, CAP, technologies, U.S. corruption, the watch list, the FISA court, human experimentation, MK Ultra, special access programs, weather globalists. Oh, that's horrible. Well, it's possible that they're drugging you. It can get into your food. They've definitely done that to me, where I've eaten something and then shortly thereafter I feel spaced out. So I know they tampered with the food. What's a pension scheme? I don't have a pension. I don't have a pension. There's as many checks and funds out of you as possible. I don't know. I might have missed something. Let's see. Hi, Annie. Welcome. Oh, I'm their pensions. Oh, that's what you're saying. I'm their pension scheme. Yeah, well, they can forget about their pension scheme. They could all get a real job. Julia says it helps when I cut off all internet access, including smartphones. You stick it in the fridge or a Faraday cage router. You pull out the plug. They sprayed into your apartment again, made you so sick. Okay. You had the air purifier on, and the fans went outside for a while, but the fumes linger. Yeah, the fumes do linger. Oh, that's interesting, Kat. This 1970s movie, Soylent Green, was set in 2022. That's so interesting. Hey guys, I've got a cat in here who I could not find, who just reappeared, and I have to bring her next door. So I have to slip away for about 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Let's see, what did I miss? Anyone understand creepy voice? No, I haven't had anybody understand creepy voice yet. Although creepy voice made an appearance on my porch camera and actually said my name. Do I have a washing machine going on in the background? No, I do not, but I do have a small fan because these criminals. Hi, Amy. Welcome, welcome. Because these criminals broke the internal fan of my laptop. So, in order to cool down my laptop, I bought a little external fan because I can't figure out how to change the fan in the laptop. Let's see. Joe saw a video describing people whose faces start twitching from the consumption of human. Oh my goodness! The disease is called Karoo. But what's weird is that there is a shoe brand. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Hi, Victor. Welcome. Well, I hate to tell you guys that if you shop in, let's say, stores like Target, the leather products there are not what you think they are. Yes. But I don't know if we can really delve into what they do to animals in other countries. Hi, Victorious. Welcome. Yes, yes. Yes, there seems to be a trend now where people are going back to the cloth diapers. I mean, if you can find true cotton diapers, because cotton is not really, a lot of the cotton that you buy now is not like organic cotton. Back around, I think it was 2020 or 21, the FDA approved something called BT. I'll put it in the chat 1 second. Yeah, so the creepy voice is in the background there. Yeah, a lot of people did, and they just wash them. I didn't. I mean, I actually used the regular, I guess they were called, what were they called, campers back then? Let's see, has anyone used detectors for cameras planted in their homes? I'm considering getting one. Well, I'll tell you that how many I have purchased, and they get interfered with, they get broken, so they do not detect anything. Like, I actually have one. Actually, I have one close by. I can't figure out how it works. Yes, River Bluff was not here last week. He started a new job, so it could be that. But yeah, last chat, and then tonight he has not been here. But he did start a new job in another state. I've tried to use those detectors. You know, they're not expensive. Like you can buy them on eBay. And I purchased a couple of them when I lived in New Jersey, and then again here. I'm not figuring out either how they work or they're not working. They're being interfered with. And then I even had a subscriber send me, um, one of those little cameras to wear on you. Um, and I don't know where he went. Jeff, the American Guinea Pig Cash Cow, had one, and he did all of his videos on it. And I thought, oh, that's good. I'm going to buy one too. Well, I've never gotten mine to work. And then I replaced it. They sent me a new one. I couldn't get that one to work either. Followed all the directions. And then a subscriber sent me the exact same camera, and that doesn't work either. So they're disabling all the cameras here. I mean, it's not likely that all three of those cameras would show up broken or not being able to record. And then a friend sent me like a real camera, with a battery and stuff. So I replaced the battery. They killed the battery here. The battery doesn't charge. Can't get the camera to work. It was perfectly fine when it arrived here. So this is what happens when you're dealing with criminals. They know that they're doing illegal things, and they don't want you to capture it on camera. I covered up my smoke detectors too because they were flashing. They're taking pictures of you. Okay, the cutter says the problem is if the lens is very small, the detector needs to be moved very slowly across the room. Okay. Victoria says, my cameras never pick anything, even me. They definitely disable the cameras. They were doing it in New Jersey also. As soon as I would leave the house, they would blur them. Third party interference, weird lines, shadows, ghosting. You see like ghosted figures across the camera. What about my cell phone? Like say they turn on the lights on your flashlight on your camera, it may work. Julie's got a cheap detector. You have to get really close to the device that emits the RF. A really effective detector will cost needs to be high power. A body cam is the best thing that you can do. And then some people buy those sunglasses with cameras in them. Oh, you're getting buffering? Is anybody else buffering? Oh, okay. That sounds like a plan, Kat. You have to do your nightly care rituals. Well, I think we should all do that. I don't do it enough. I'm too busy caring for animals as my nightly ritual and getting knocked out. Let's see. My camera, my laptop camera is hacked. I mean, it is covered. In fact, I'm gonna. It doesn't work. But a subscriber mentioned that there is like I've been getting like these little pop sounds in the background. Oh, okay. Thank you, STL. I'll check that out. Yeah, ADT. Well, ADT works with the criminals. I had a centrally monitored alarm in New Jersey. I also had a hardwire system, baby cameras, trail cameras, and even in my own inside the house, I had trail cameras. I would come home and find the trail cameras moved. So they were getting into my house, getting around the centrally monitored system. I had Arlo cameras getting around the Arlo cameras then. The baby monitors, the baby monitors would just start to get scrambled. The hardwires were definitely better. Absolutely better. When I move, I will be getting a hardwire system. If I knew it was going to be that bad here, I would have gotten it as soon as I moved in. It's a little bit more difficult because I've got vaulted ceilings here with no attic. That's the problem. I'm just like it's just like a little cabin. It's not like a house with an attic. Oh, you still have a flip phone. I know. I avoid everything labeled smart too. Like my phone is so old. I have an iPhone 7. Actually, when I got remonetized, I had to tell YouTube how I create my videos. They were probably laughing in the background, saying, "Let me just remonetize her. She's on old technology." STL says any electromagnetic pulsing can jam up the Wi-Fi signal as interference. Remember to hit the thumbs up for anybody that has not, because it shows that there are 28 people, but only 18 thumbs up. I still have Windows 7. This chat is on Windows 7. And I keep getting these alerts that my browser's out of date. And people have recommended software to me to download. And even browsers, it's like my laptop can't even download anything else. I had to uninstall Zoom because it was taking up too much space. And most of it is because the criminals are in the laptop. So whatever they're doing is taking up space. Yes, Stingray can tap into cell phone conversations. I know. Hi, Georgia. Yeah, I do deserve a better phone. I went onto the Apple website and checking out the phones. It's like I'm not spending $1,000 on a phone. What are they nuts? $1,000 for a phone, and it's going to be more than that. Um, the more storage you have on the phone, it costs more money. I know Windows 7 is the best. The unfortunate thing is that there are a lot of people that don't support Windows 7 anymore. A lot of software that doesn't support it anymore. You have an Android. Yes, I actually bought something. I bought a Linux stick. I know that's what I bought one. I haven't figured out how to do it yet. Yeah, these phones are so expensive. What is micro swap? Micro swap. shut down a Discord server for its users using the term microslop. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, like it's not supported. I keep getting alerts to update my browser too. I can't update my browser until I change my laptop. So, that's what I have. I have an HP Pavilion, Windows Vista. I don't know why they keep updating stuff. I think they need to stop. It's just another way to have people spend more money. It's like a planned obsolescence. Are there supposed to be ads? Yes. It's supposed to be like mid-roll. A mid-roll meaning that usually halfway through a chat. So usually around the half an hour mark, there will be an advertisement that comes on, like maybe for 30 seconds, and then you'll get back into the chat. I can't believe they get up listening to my conversation. I literally talk to my chihuahuas, and that's it. Hi, towards the Terra. Let's see. People tell me that getting a computer with Linux is a good solution. I've heard that too. I've heard that as well. Okay, so an advertisement just played. The Sean Ryan interview with Ripperger. Okay, Victorious, thanks for checking in. Yeah, and yes, they do. They force you to get more storage so that all of your information is in the cloud. Exactly, and that's what happened with this phone, and even on my mom's phone. After my mother passed away, I inherited her iPhone. Windows and all processors have NSA backdoors. Linux is a little bit better, but not by much. The global operating system has turned life into a weird scoreboard. You just need a flash drive. You don't need a special computer. Okay, STL, the cops were harassing me with fake home visits about someone fighting in the hallway. It all stopped after I asked for the name and badge number, but I still get the sirens and one headlight stalking. Yeah, it's just another skit show. I don't know if you remember. I guess this was last year, maybe the last quarter of the year. I started reading a book called The Criminal Fraternity: Servants of the Lie. Oh, and I see the criminals punctured the book cover here by Saul Esprit. Servants of the Truth, Jesus Christ. And the back reads, "Who are the real criminals? They masquerade as your friends, but they are your deadly enemies. You know who they are? The police, politicians, judges, and attorneys. Learn the truth that the criminal fraternity hopes you will never discover." Here's the book that exposes the real organized crime network. After reading The Criminal Fraternity, you will never again naively assume that civil government exists for the public good. Within these pages, you will learn exactly who it is that represents the menace to society and are the greatest threat to you and your family, intending injury physically, mentally, financially, but most of all, spiritually. Armed with its vital information, You will be informed and prepared for the life-threatening times that are imminently upon us. Quoting from Orwell's insightful book 1984, if you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on the human face forever. And that is what the criminal fraternity intends to do to you. Oh, we've definitely got a criminal fraternity here where I live. They're all criminals. Gaslighting, psychologically abusive, local government. Creeper's gonna creep, let's see. And I thought it was a Utah thing. Hi, Be Dawn. Welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you guys come in. I'm a book person, and I like the hard books. Like when I go onto Amazon to get a book, or on eBay, eBay always sells the hardcovers, but on Amazon they have these Kindle. I don't have a Kindle, so I cannot download any like kind of ebook from Amazon. Okay, I'll type the email address in the chat for you. I do have another one, but I haven't signed on to it yet to change the password. Oh yes, that evil grin. They all have that evil narcissistic grin. It's like they know something that you don't know. Oh, okay. Pamela has to disappear for a few minutes. She said her dogs are going ballistic. There might be somebody on the property. Julius, you're right. You gotta let the police know you don't go down easy. The evil grin. It's the narcissist smirk. It's widely known. The smirk. You can actually see like a corner of their mouth turn upward. Georgia says, "I think I think they learned it in gang stalking classes. Someone taught them to do it." Oh, that's right, Joe. That's exactly right. It's called Duper's Delight. Duper's Delight. When they think that you're being duped, when you know what they're doing. Estiel says, when they knocked on my door, he had the freakish grin all the time. He was talking to me until I asked his name and badge. Yeah, that happened to me in New Jersey. With a lieutenant there. He had that smirk. Everybody knows about the narcissist smirk. So let's see. I don't remember where I left off in this book. Let me just scroll through here for a minute. Okay, so in this book, I'm on page 158. Luciferians diligently strive to claim us as their property so they can do whatever they want with us. They genuinely enjoy shedding innocent blood and will gladly kill for the mere sake of killing. And this is for educational purposes only. I'm reading a book. In so doing, they believe that their master, Satan, will grant them still more power to rule over mankind. Vampires, true to form, they crave absorbing the lifeblood from their human hosts. Proverb 29:10. The bloodthirsty hate the upright. In their demon-possessed madness, the criminal fraternity. Criminal fraternity. Legal criminal fraternity represents distinctive profile of the reptilian brain. The reptilian brain. Former Satanist Rebecca Brown, in her book Becoming a Vessel of Honor, in the Master Service, page 115 to 121, she lists several key differences between the Holy Spirit and demonic spirits. Notice how the following characteristics exhibited by demons are also shared by the rank and file members of the legal criminal fraternity. And again, the legal criminal fraternity are the police, the politicians, the judges, and the attorneys. Yes, Russ Distar had a book, The Black Awakening. Yes, somebody else told me about that. Creepy sounds like he's underwater. Maybe he's drowning. Okay, so demons hate human beings. They try to usurp the individual personality and replace it with their own. And so do the legal criminal fraternity members. Demons want total control. They will frequently knock the person unconscious and then use them any way they want. So does the legal criminal fraternity, and their motto is, we'll do whatever we want. And that's why they knock you out and put you to sleep. They're very immature. Yes, they're very immature. Demons are harsh. Because of their desire to take over a person, can always sense a difference between a demon spirit and themselves, whereas true servants of God vehemently oppose the legal criminal fraternity government sympathizers, and they recognize that no substantial distinction between themselves and the satanic overlords. They love their big brother master because they have the same spirit. Demons are totally corrupt. They will always lead a person deeper and deeper into sin. The various programs and social service organizations sponsored by the LCF are ineffectual because they do not help or rehabilitate. They only further the Luciferian interests of the criminal fraternity. Let's see, but because of the subject matter, I highly recommend watching a movie titled Nefarious. That sounds familiar. Maybe creepy as SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh my goodness, yes, they have been knocking you out at night and waking up at 10 a.m. and you never sleep in. That's what they do because you don't even realize that you've been knocked out. And then when you wake up, you feel discombobulated, like you've been drugged or something. These criminals keep cutting my fingernails. These are sick people. Demons also hate Jesus. They glorify the person in whom they dwell, always drawing attention to the person himself instead of toward Jesus. Pride is the hallmark of demons and the people, the legal criminal fraternity that they inhabit. The LCF is known for their haughty arrogance, boastful pride, exaltation of themselves. Oh, yeah, yeah, sort of like the letter that I received from the county lawyer. Yeah, after all these months, the Jackson County PVA office lied. I knew that they never sent me a letter informing me that my property taxes were going to be increased or the method to dispute it, which is against the law. Let's see, SCL woke up with 3 large scratches on his neck once and posted it to X. Demons function best when the person passively lets them take over. Demons have difficulty overriding an active, strong mind. There you go. They always encourage periods of mental passivity. The LCF encourages passivity via television programming, media propaganda, mind control, public school indoctrination, witchcraft, social engineering of the masses via promotion of Eastern occult religious meditative practices like yoga, which is unusual. Demons do one of two things. They can help the person justify his sins, or they bring destructive, crushing guilt with no hope of forgiveness or redemption. Demonic guilt always brings with it the message, you cannot be forgiven. The LCF considers themselves to be gods, superior to those over whom they oppress. Encounters with police, attorneys, judges, politicians leaves true Christians feeling dirty, defiled, violated. Ironically, legal criminals append disparaging labels to those whom they abuse. Oh, they broke your toenails? Okay, thank you for the emails. I'm not reading emails while I'm reading this, and sometimes if I go to try to read my email during the chat, it will freeze up. So I'll read your email later. So encounters with police, attorneys, judges, politicians leaves true Christians feeling dirty and defiled. Ironically, those legal criminals, they give disparaging labels to those who they abuse. They usually charge them as guilty, criminal, a terrorist, one deserving of humiliation and debasing punishment. Demons will twist and turn God's word and take it out of context to justify sin. Freemasonry's legal criminal fraternity has made up their own version of the Bible and will misquote scripture to justify their occult doctrines. A Masonic Bible is used in presidential inaugurations for swearing in American presidents. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I'm reading it now for the first time. I did not know that. I don't know if it's true. Let's see. They may want to get fire insurance because where they're going, they're going to need it. Oh my goodness. There's a wide assortment of spiritual entities. At best, they are neutral. At worst, they wish to enslave or feed off of human souls. That's true. Um, Pam says, I'm very particular about my feet. In fact, when I was in the military, the guys used to call me toes. They must have put me under anesthesia to remove part of my toenail. Oh, well, they do that. They do tamper with your toenails and your feet. They've done that with mine. Okay, sent me pictures of the neck and other scratches. I will. I will view it later. Yes, you can't change human nature even without these programs. Demon spirits dupe the people they indwell into thinking that they can control them. They will come whenever the person calls, heal when the person wants. They love rituals and routines. The legal criminal fraternity masquerades as society's benevolent benefactors, yet its members are contemptuous towards all those outside of their circle of the satanic influence. Their cognitively limited reptilian brain functions best within a regimented, structured, ritualized context of man made rules and regulations. Demons love to manipulate human emotions. They control many by giving them emotional highs or rewards. Demons also love to give humans emotional extremes. And as a spiritual offspring of Satan, the legal criminal fraternities are master manipulators and deceivers. They revel in their ability to intimidate the sheep like masses, causing them to cower and slavishly fawn in misplaced deference to them, or to be frightened into submission by threats of physical violence, loss of freedom, or death. Demons bring quick punishment to anyone disobeying them. They are quick to take over and control, always trying to usurp the person's free will. Demons love puppets and robots. Police are trained to respond immediately with lethal force against anyone who opposes them. They do not tolerate any show of willfulness or intent to defend oneself against their rabid attacks. The objective of the LCF penal system is to obliterate the volitional free will of their captives. All members of the LCF demand subservience and even reverential respect to their citizen subjects, and judges and politicians, while pretending to serve the constitutional interests of the public, have their own personal agenda in mind. The legal criminal fraternity thrives and grows stronger when they have their citizen slaves in complete submission to their demonic will of their diabolical father, Satan. So I guess all the local government here, their diabolical father is Satan. They're Satan worshippers. 33 Club Satan worshippers. Demons hate us and lead people into eternal destruction by separating all those outside of their fraternity of evil from God forever in hell. Let's see. Yeah, some of these people say they're devout Christians. They believe that what they're doing is Christian. It's not. They're just ignorant. Well, yes, that's true. That's absolutely true, because if they were true Christians, they would not be harming their neighbors, especially that they don't know, right? The LCF, the legal criminal fraternity, despises and wishes to destroy all those outside of their fraternity of evil in the most cruel and painful manner. Their controlled media propaganda masks their true intentions, yet inadvertently, it occasionally leaks the truth to an undiscerning public. Demons never shed any of their blood for people. They're always demanding that people shed blood for them, legislating it. All sorts of self-imposed punishment and or rigid legalistic rules. Politicians are famous for sending 20-year-old boys to an untimely death, fighting the elite's propaganda wars, or destroying entire families when a misdirected entrepreneurial youth is sentenced to 30 years in a federal prison for competing with the LCF's lucrative marijuana and cocaine import export business for educational purposes. Oh, Zumi is at the front door wanting to come in. I'll be right back. Hi, Felix, Spaces, Facts. Welcome, welcome. Zumi, hold off. Hold it. I'm getting there. Zumi, wait. Somebody stays up too late. My cat stays out too late. It's past his curfew. Yet the world is very weird. Very weird. It's so hard to keep my surroundings clean because I've got people coming in here filthing it all the time. They filthy the chicken coops. They filthy my residence. It's hard enough maneuvering around these very tight quarters. Um, but then when they come in here and disrupt stuff, it makes it even more difficult. That's a good point. The world has always been weird. We were just brainwashed and deceived into thinking there was nothing strange going on. Yeah, don't you know when there are chats and stuff, even if you don't participate, it's good to see what other people are typing because it may be happening to your family sold you out and I did nothing. I used to keep my blinds open to let the light in. Now I close them because the friggin' next door neighbor. I know, I hear you. I hear you. I mean, at night here, I put my blinds down and I've got blackout curtains. And like in New Jersey, I love to keep the windows open and have the light in. But here, I just cover everything up. SDL says, you have the best sense of humor and I enjoy when you insult these perps. Well, they deserve insulting. You know, and normally it's not part of my personality to start insulting people, but when it's deserved, it's deserved. They're losers. You know, one day, what they're teaching their children is going to come back to haunt them because their children will not be there for them when they get to be like, if they're fortunate enough to get to be my age. They think that all their ducks are in a row. Oh, I'm related to this one. Oh, I'm related to that one. Oh, I'm part of the criminal fraternity. Oh, the county lawyers will protect us. We're getting our gift cards. But they're not all protected. You never know. You actually never know when one of them is going down because even though we know that the three-letter agencies are involved in what happens to us, uh, they every once in a while will go after somebody if there are enough complaints about a county or an official, or if somebody files a similar complaint as yours. You just never know, and that's what Circle of Snakes, Bobby Towers, his whole the police department that was targeting him, half of it were terminated after he filed his complaint. You just never know. So let's see. Demons demand more and more sacrifices. They are never satisfied. So they are insatiable, which is why this goes on and on and on and on, and why there are more than 800,000 children that go missing every year. Yeah, their children are going to eventually hate them, or at least resent them, you know, because they have been brought into a life of crime. But the way I see it is there are generational families that grow up on public assistance and they don't see anything wrong with it. So it's the same thing. When you have like a low level of consciousness that does not think out of the box, that never leaves this area, for instance, their mindset is different. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the YouTube creator Soft White Underbelly. Well, I watched one of his videos today. He was interviewing a man who is now who was abused as a child, groomed, abused as a child, and exposed by name all the men that harassed him when he was growing up. Let's see, supposedly they fired some people from fusion centers, but you have to look more into the story. I would love to know what that's about. If you could find out that information, please let me know. Because I don't know about you, but I know a lot of targeted people that when this new administration came on board had said complaints about fusion centers. And the fusion centers waste so much money. Did he get justice for Lorraine? Did he get justice, Lorraine? Yes, he did, actually. Bobby Towers? Yes, he did. His targeting actually ended, and half of his police department got terminated. The police that were harassing him since he was a teenager. Yes, SDL says, I think it gets under their skin how resilient we are. They didn't expect our toughness. Yeah, every once in a while, you just never know when, let's say, the feds are looking into certain people, not just us. I mean, it could be local governments, it could be attorneys, it could be judges. They may have been following people, you know, but they're not going to zoom in on somebody unless it's to their benefit. And you never know who that person will be, which is why you need to file complaints about these people. And don't worry, little Ross Murray, I'll be filing another complaint about you. Yes, that was a good one. Mark Leta. They sign a contract before they start harassing. Yes, it's called a non-disclosure agreement. Yes, they sign a non-disclosure agreement. They sign their life away. They say that they will get penalized if they tell the targeted person that they're involved or what they're doing or whatever. Yes, and in fact, I think it was Karen Stewart said that they can receive up to a $10,000 fine for disclosing certain information. And uh, on one of my videos last year, it must have been like a local neighbor who is not involved in targeting me but knows of the people who are, posted a comment on one of my videos about my creepo neighbor next door. And this person's comment was that $1,000 was deducted from their bank account because of some of the disclosures they made in their screaming acts against me, like approaching my teenage landscaper and threatening that if they continued to clean my property, that they would be part of her lawsuit. And from what I understand, $1,000 was deducted from their bank account for leaving that little information out there. And again, this is for I don't know, it's hearsay, But every once in a while, local people that know that I have a channel will leave me tidbits of information about my neighbors. There are people around here that can't stand some of them. Pamela says you can't have a legal contract for illegal activity. Well, that is fascinating, right? How will this contract be valid when it's illegal activity? Well, it's widely known because you can look it up online that the FBI has informants. It's called what's it called? Human resources, human resource informants, or something like that. And that they have these human resources have incurred felonies and misdemeanors and were paid to commit those felonies and misdemeanors. You could probably do a search online. I did a video about it probably about a year and a half ago. It's widely known that they pay their informants hundreds of thousands of dollars to perform illegal activity. Yeah, it's a covert operation. It wouldn't be legal if they had to keep it a secret. Yeah, it's psychological warfare also. Oh, what they're doing to my property is like off the charts. They think I don't notice. I mean, I've lived here for 6.5 years. What they're doing is atrocious. But they could gaslight all they want. So, like their father Satan, they wish to be the object of worship and expect people to pay homage in the form of passivity and lack of protest, undeserved deference, and even reverential awe. Money is obtained by extortion. It's their lifeblood, and they genuinely feel that their citizen slaves owe it to them in great abundance. Yet it never occurs to the servants of the lie that they, as a spiritual offspring of their reprehensible father Satan, are the least worthy of respect, admiration, or monetary compensation. Their media propaganda has conditioned the brainwashed masses to bow the knee and offer sacrifices in the form of IRS, extortion payments, federal, state, and local taxes, fees, fines, penalties, licenses, registrations, all of which are forms of idol worship and deference to the government beast. And I'm getting my property taxes back. Since actually none of my neighbors have paid property taxes. None of my neighbors, the ones that aren't listed on the public web page, they don't pay property taxes. I wonder why. I wonder if that's in lieu of harassing me. Yes, all of those involved acting under the color of law. Demons try to keep people from reading the Bible. The LCF took the 1611 King James Bible out of the schools, courtrooms, apostate Christian churches, homes, and replaced it with Harry Potter witchcraft, pop culture Satanism, New Age, Eastern mysticism, and the NIV Bible and other pagan creeds. Demons bring confusion. So does the legal criminal fraternity. Their TV, mind control programs, and media propaganda machines work nonstop 365 days a year. Demons hinder all true prayer. The legal criminal fraternity tolerates any public expression of religious beliefs except true Christianity. Demons love to make a show. Like their father Lucifer, pride and arrogance typifies the legal criminal fraternity. All demons are liars. So are people of the indwell. As servants of the lie, the possessed of Satan are all inveterate liars. Among politicians, deception and falsehood are a way of life. Lies and deceit are also distinguishing characteristics of their like minded brotherhood of police, lawyers, and then he spells out liars, the word liar, and judges extorting money by force if necessary is how they make a living. And that's how my neighbors make a living, by stealing and extorting money from me, like my property taxes. I bet little Bobby Edwards and the sheriff and the county lawyer all divided up my $1,500 and got a little Christmas bonus for themselves. Yes, the war is not going well. Get prayed up and ready to go up, Elsie says. I used non-perishable now for a while cans and bottles. Your dog is going off again outside. They follow us everywhere like they're lost. Yeah, what's happening with the war is it's causing delivery. It's going to cause a lot of delivery issues, shipping issues across the states and the countries. There are some outages, especially around the upper East Coast after all the snowstorms and stuff. So it's not a bad idea to buy some extra canned food, some extra water and stuff. I've noticed that even when I order things from Amazon, they used to come like right away, like in 2 days. And now, I mean, sometimes it takes a week or longer to get something. Like I had ordered a book like 3 weeks ago and I hadn't received it. And I looked and it's like, at first they told me it was going to be delayed. And then I'm told that they're not sure when it will ship. So I had to cancel it. And I've noticed some items that I have been buying, even from Vitacost for years, are suddenly no longer in stock. And the same with cat food. There's a lot of cat food that's being discontinued, and I believe it has a lot to do with the origins of the food and the fact that a lot of like regular chicken farmers are being shut down. Yes, yes, I have the same thing happen, Georgia. Georgia says, speaking of shipping, my orders go through each state before I get it. It's part of the evil. And they do that because then by the time you get your box, it's all tattered. It has usually been opened and closed. Yes, SDL, that's what I started doing too. A single serving pack so you can eat it without opening a larger container. It's so hard. Like I actually started to duct tape my food. I mean, how sick is that? I had to duct tape it closed so that they don't get, well, they can still get into it with the duct tape, but you throw food out and buy new food every day. I finally gave up trying to stop them. I even put my creamer by my bed on ice at night, but they still poison it. Try duct tape. Get some duct tape. I know it gets to be very expensive buying these single servings. I mean, it's so much more cost effective if you buy something in bulk. But sometimes, I mean, unless you can divide it up and put it in the freezer, And food, I mean, have you checked out the cost of food lately? Like for the last year, it's just crazy. And the cat food has gone up so much. It is like 11:36, and my roosters are going berserk outside. George says, when I was living in Indiana, I had to get Indiana tags, and when I received the tags, they gave me. Oh, that's so funny. Amazon sells small $10 resealing heat wands. Really? Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. Yes, yes, yeah. DVL, fill in the blanks. Yep, yep. That's what they do. They do that. I can't believe my roosters are screaming. Now it says here, not only is the upper management members of the legal criminal fraternity generationally demon possessed, but also some of them are literally the progeny of sexual union between a human being and demons. For those who deny this is possible, God declares in Genesis chapter 6 that this is the truth. In modern times, the spiritual phenomenon is as it was during the time of Noah. Human demon hybrids walk among us today just as they did in the pre flood area. With the approach of the prophesied end times, there will be increasing number of transhumans that, for all outward appearances, seem fully human, yet are diabolical fiends masquerading as our benevolent masters. They're essentially human clones without a soul. Oh, what is that? Oh, so Pamela asked, can you post a link to the mouth guards? Can you post the link in the chat? Let me see. I just checked my email and here's a link that you might be interested in. The FBI is investigating suspicious cyber activity on system holding sensitive surveillance information. Yes, they have. I've been receiving, like, now this is like the third time Chewy has given me notification of food being discontinued, meaning that they're not manufacturing it anymore. And then I went to the website that, like the Purina website, and I go and I see their food there, and I think that a lot of them are, one, it's not only the shortage of cat food, it's getting to be so expensive. Let's see. Mouth guards keep the teeth from vibrating loose and getting hit externally by frequencies. I have a lot of cats, so I need to buy a lot of cat food. So the cat food that they really like, that's actually dog and cat food. Like they make some dog food that's for dogs and cats that they really like is now suddenly it's Purina One. It's all going to be discontinued, and that's like the better food. Now I've got to look for other food. You gave up coffee in the morning. I will try the duct tape. Yes. With the duct tape, what you do is first put it in a plastic bag and then wrap it in duct tape. Yeah, a lot of cat food is disappearing. Now they're trying to starve out the animals too. Yes, the Department of Motor Vehicles makes everything inconvenient. They want to know how you got from your maiden name. You're kidding. Yeah, you never know when it's going to become temporarily or permanently out of stock. It's being discontinued. But what happens with Chewy is a warehouse. So they always have the food on hand, but because I have my food set up on auto shipments, and some of that food that's being discontinued is on auto ship, which will ship in like a month from now. They told me it's discontinued, so it won't ship with my next order. So I just went onto their website and I bought it separately without the auto shipment. Okay, Toward the Terra, thank you for joining in. Maybe people do eat cat food. Actually, when I was a teenager, one of my first jobs was working at Pathmark in the Bronx. And I would find like a lot of the older people coming in and they were buying cat and dog food. And but they didn't have cats or dogs. And then I remember like my manager told me that a lot of the older people were coming in and they were actually eating cat food. Yeah, you've seen people eating cat food, videos of people eating cat food. Well, it depends on the cat food. Some of the cat food ingredients are just fine. Like some of the cat's cat food is there's carrots in there and spinach and other vegetables and sometimes fruits and stuff like that. Same with some of the better dog food and cat food and stuff. Have a good night, Sue. Oh no, TG, welcome. Have a good night. I'm getting confused here. Who's saying good night? We're going to be shutting down the live ends in about 15 minutes. Well, the channel is about gang stalking, but we also talk about regular things because we're regular people, and there are a lot of targeted people that have pets, and some of their pets, like mine, get targeted too. No, like sort of like last week, like we were talking about the stalking, and then we started reminiscing about old times and stuff like that. It's sort of like whatever people want to talk about, that's what we discuss. So I was reading from the criminal fraternity, which actually relates to gang stalking because it's the criminal fraternity that actually harasses and stalks us. They are behind what happens to us. And those are the police, the politicians, the judges, and the attorneys. The pets, it's horrible what they do to pets, Felix. It's beyond horrible. In fact, I sent some photos of what they did to my cat Lotus here. She had golden eyes, gold, and she was a beautiful cat. Orange, those little orange tabbies, the little cream colored tabbies with gold eyes. And they killed her here in Jackson County, Kentucky. Her eyes turned black. She had bugs coming out of her body after they killed her. They poisoned her. They did something to her. And she went from being completely healthy to being completely dead in a week. And that's what they do with a lot of the animals. Since last year, since last May Day, the High Witch holiday, when they entered my cat's building and harmed the eyes of my newly born kittens, six, yeah, that number six kittens are dead because they were killed by these Luciferian Satanists here in Jackson County, Kentucky. That's right. They harmed the eyes of kittens, the left eye. And what they're probably trying to do is they're probably trying to experiment on them and put like a little chip in the eye so that they can see through that cat's eye. And that's what they do to humans, and that's what they do to pets sometimes. That is what they do to your animals. They burn them. People have sent me photos of what they've done to their cats and their dogs. I received a photo this week of a little dog, a little tiny dog. They burned a triangle into the hindquarters of the dog. I kid you not. So that's what they do to pets when you own a pet. So, unfortunately, it's time. Oh, that's right. Thank you for the reminder. Daylight savings time. Yes. I wonder if it's. Oh no, it's. I think it starts at what? 2 a.m. So at 2 a.m. we're gonna lose an hour. Oh no, we're all gonna lose an hour. Oh, that's so horrible that three of your animals died in a fire. Oh, that's horrible. Well, some of the signs of psychopathy are harming animals. I mean, the prison population is laden with people who first harmed animals and then inched their way up to humans. So it's an indicator when people are harming animals that they are a nanosecond away from harming a human. It is very traumatizing. It's satanic ritual abuse and trauma based mind control because they know that you care about your animals just the way you might care about things in your home. You care about taking care of your home. Maybe it could be your plants, it could be something, it could be your books, but whatever it is that you care about. Yes, I remember they burnt a triangle in your leg, and what did they do to my forearm on May Day? Through a long sleeve sweatshirt and a long sleeve compression shirt, without harming either of those shirts, they cut a triangle in my forearm. And anybody that would like to see what that looks like, you can email me at alternativehomestay@gmail.com. So, yes, they did. They did. And we're going to lose an hour. I completely forgot about that. That's absolutely correct. Most serial killers begin as children by harming animals because they have no remorse and they don't feel the pain that they're inflicting on others. And unfortunately, though, in childhood, many of those people were subjected to some of the same abuses that they continue generationally in the future. But not always. It's not always the case. I mean, some of these people grow up in quote unquote normal homes and they're created some other way. Uh, And now that I'm a targeted person, it's very possible that some of these people are targeted to turn into these people, even growing up in a good home with, positive energy. And then, of course, there are some military homes that literally will sacrifice one of their children to the program. And that's the unfortunate truth. I mean, you could hear it in story after story after story. And, there are podcasts on YouTube where there are whistleblowers that come forward about what happened to them, if they grew up in a satanic home and what it was like for them. And there was always one, and even growing up in a narcissistic home, there's always the golden child. There's that one child that the narcissist, you know, I'm going to use the word adore, but that's not the correct word, uses. And then there's usually, if there's a second child in the narcissistic home, that's the one that the child that's demonized, that's treated very poor. So good night, SDL. Yes, good night. Good night for those people who are in the chat this evening. Thank you all for joining in and hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate it. And again, if you have a channel, if you've got a YouTube channel and you want to include the link in the chat, you can do that now. So Joe posted a link to his channel earlier. Oh, they're messing with your words as you type. Well, thank everybody for joining in the chat tonight. We're all going to lose an hour, so we might as well call it a night. And thank you all for joining in. And again, with this chat, just as an FYI, and for Felix and everybody, we never know where the chat's going to go. Sometimes I have it planned out. Oh, we're going to talk about this, or I'm going to read this, and then sometimes we talk about music or books or anything else, just so that we can communicate, even on a normal level. So I hope everybody's doing well. Have a good rest of the night. Oh no, that's okay, Felix. No, you were just asking a question. No, you'll see, like in some of the chats, it depends on who's joining in and what we're talking about in the beginning. Some of it gets pretty heavy. Some of it, people will start describing what's happening to them. But I think you came in a little bit later, and in case you missed it, there's a website that I think everybody should go check out. It's called targetedhumans.org. Targetedhumans.org. My live chats are usually Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time until midnight. It's just because it's the time of the week where I know I can devote the time to it. During the week, I'm not always sure. And now with this daylight savings time thing, where we're going to lose an hour tomorrow, it's going to screw all the animals up. It's going to screw all the feeding schedule, probably for the next couple of weeks. It is, Katie. Katie's tired of this abuse. It's so draining. The whole community participating in the abuse. Yeah, so the live chat is scheduled at 10 p.m. Eastern time on every Saturday. And if I ever go live during the week, it would always be impromptu, and it might be in case of an emergency, if something were happening here, or if something like some urgent thing. I don't usually go live during the week because I get interrupted so many times. So thank you so much, Joe, for being moderator. And Annie, I'm glad that the tonight was helpful to you. Again, you can always email me if you have questions. And there are 2,700 videos on my channel. And the way to search for it is you go to the main page, and there's usually like a little magnifying glass there, and you could search. So just type in a word like gang stalking or paraphilia or sadism or predator. You'll find videos or evidence. Type in the word evidence, and you'll find my videos of evidence. And I also have a whole bunch of playlists. So I've got lots of playlists, and in those playlists, I've got anywhere from like 15 to 300 videos. So thank you all for joining in. We're going to sign off for now, and we're all going to lose an hour tonight. Good night, everybody.